What is going on, YouTube? It's the Bruce Ree, and today, I just want to talk to you guys. I want to sit down, just have a sit-down conversation, and give you my thoughts, my reactions, and my process of going through the sports CMM. A little bit of insight as to what I was going through, and kind of my road to the championship. I've been wanting to do this for a couple weeks now, or not a couple weeks. I've been wanting to do this for a week now, but I just got so busy last week, and I'm so lucky that the tournament probably ended when it did, because if it didn't end then, I don't even know how I'd been able to put out a quality video for another round. But, so I was going to do it last Thursday, but then the NFL draft started, and I'm a bit of a sports nerd, even more so than I'm a video game player. So, I got encapsulated with the draft, and then before I know it, the weekend's over, and then Monday, and then, you know what, it's out today. I'm doing it now. But this video might be a little bit long, but I basically, I just got to get into some things. I got to express my thoughts on the competition. I got to express my gratitude to the Core 4 and everybody who was involved. And I really just want to give my thorough thoughts on the matter. But getting right into it, I mean, I can't believe I won. Are you kidding me? It's fucking unreal. It's absolutely unreal. It's such an awesome, honor. Like, it's just such... I stumbled upon the contest in February. I was just like, I'm a young commentator. I had 37 subscribers. I was just beginning to network, and I was over on Press Star Pone's YouTube site, and I saw this competition go up. So I was like, hey, why not? Let's try to enter. And believe it or not, like I almost missed it because I couldn't figure out how to enter at first. Because during that whole video, they didn't even explain really, how to get in there. So, I mean, I eventually found it. I went over to IKC's channel, and I saw the follow-up video, and I got in there. But, I mean, there was just, like, mass confusion at the beginning. I almost missed it. I almost didn't even get in there. But honestly, like, thank God I did, because this was such an amazing experience. I met so many amazing and awesome people. And first and foremost, man, I got to thank the Core 4. I got to thank iPod King Carter, Regular Dave, Wiza. I got to thank X Chase Money. You guys put this on for the community without, like, any thoughts of, like, how it could benefit yourselves. And it's such a great act on you guys' part. And I think it was a great overall experience for everybody involved, and even the fans. They got to see some things that they're not going to see on a normal basis on YouTube, watching video games. But I mean, back in February, I stumbled upon the competition, and I could probably say that it will be the luckiest thing to ever happen to me in my YouTube career. But that was almost 3 months ago. 1,400 subscribers. Yesterday, I looked back at some of my first videos that I posted on my channel, and I just laughed because my first few videos were tough to sit through, knowing what I know now. But I feel like that's how everybody starts. They look back at their first videos, and they can see a complete change. The only thing with me is that I changed so quickly, and I think that was one of my strongest attributes during this competition, is that I was able to listen and react and really grow very quickly. I mean, even at the start of the competition, I don't think that I was that great at all. Even, I mean, to the last day of the competition, people were telling me that I'm not that great. But my goal wasn't just to please everybody. My goal why I started this channel was to show my league games off. I'm a commissioner over on in one of my CCM modes in Madden, and I just wanted to show the games off and just give a different layer to the league. And look where it's come. So I mean, I'm happy. I'm very happy and ecstatic, and I'm very aware of how lucky and privileged I am to be a part of this competition. I still remember that first Selection Sunday live stream. I was when I was selected in the 16th round, and you would have thought I was in Jersey with all the fist pumping I was doing. Sorry, Blackjack. But for real though, that was a real eye-opening moment, and I realized I had an opportunity in front of me that I could not and I would not waste. And then it started. A lowly, known by no one 16 seed going up against Shakedown 2012. Intimidated would have been a drastic understatement. I mean, here I am with 37 subscribers, scraping into this tournament, and I'm facing a man who is a staple of the community and an expert at his craft, with 35,000 subscribers and fans. It was one of those, holy shit, what did I just get myself into moments. But one thing did stick with me and gave me confidence that there was a moment when Regular Dave was reading off the gangbang regional matchups and started with Shakedown versus me, or I think it was Not His Fan versus me, but he paused right after reading it. A couple seconds of silence, and it was broken up by Wiza saying, well, that's going to be a problem right there. I see Bruce Ree. It was simple, and only a few words, but the idea of someone like Wiza, his reputation on the internet and YouTube, and in the community that thought enough of me and what he saw in my video to say that I was going to be a problem to a top guy, that fired me up. I remember as soon as I got out of work that night, I immediately got on Madden when I got home, and the very first game I played happened to be the one I used in the first round, that Jags versus Ravens game. It was just an epic game, and it fit my Cinderella story perfectly. So the tournament started, and I, like everybody else, was eager to see who would be the first matchup. And to my surprise, it was my video versus Shakedown's video. And I remember pausing as soon as the intro was over, and the nerves kicked in immediately. I went to the kitchen, I had to chill out, I had to make myself a Jack and Coke, and then finally get settled in and hit play again. And that night, I felt genuinely excited, just buzzing. I mean, well, I was drinking some Jack and Coke, but I mean, I was buzzing because my phone was blowing up. My phone was like, I got all these email notifications, and I saw my subscriber count going up. I mean, I had a smile on me you couldn't wipe off. I'd only been on YouTube for a month, and in that month, I realized how hard it is to get any attention at all. And the amount of people that dug the video and thought enough to subscribe just was blowing me away. It still blows me away to this day. But being the first matchup was awesome, to hear that, people loved the video, but it was also kind of almost terrible because I had to wait so long in suspense to see if it was good enough to beat a great wrestling video by Shakedown. I mean, I was floored when the judges moved me on. Going into the second round, I was hearing a lot of, Bruce Reed did really great in the first round, but I'm sure it'll be near impossible for him to hit it again in the second. And to me, I was like, the video you saw in the first round, I mean, that's what you'll see on my channel. Like, I can duplicate, that's fine. Like, I can do that again. Like, there was a moment in one of the live streams where Golden Sport straight up asked me. He was like, Bruce Reed, did you feel like, you could do better than what you did today? And I immediately, I was like, yes, I feel like I can do better. Because I knew I could do better. I mean, I know that's just, I mean, that was a great video, obviously, and to some people, that was my best video in the tournament. But, I mean, that was scratching the surface. I got more to offer than just that one hit. And that was exactly my mentality going into the second round. I wanted to prove to everybody that was not a one-hit wonder. And the video did not come as easy as it did in the first round. I was playing game after game after game. I was trying to find some good content. Because to me, in this tournament, you needed to have great content and great commentary to really have a dynamic performance in a video. And to me, it was important to find good content. So I'd been playing games all day, all morning, trying to find a right video. And I had about 30 minutes left to work. And I thought I'd check out if a gameplay from Madden Moments would work. I knew that the mode was short, so it would help me in the time frame wise to fit into that 4 to 5 minute window. And the first Madden moment I played was the Adrian Peterson one, where he had to actually get the record instead of coming up 7 yards short. So, I mean, I started playing. It was like, yeah, okay. I mean, this is a little bit kind of slow. But then AP fumbled. And I got this idea to put the effects that really, set that video apart. My opponent for that round, Noobified, he brought just an extremely solid commentary, I felt. It was perhaps lacking a bit of the personality from his first round video, which I enjoyed. I mean, a lot of the guys ripped him apart in the live stream for rapping in his video, but I mean, I actually enjoyed that from him. But I was able to move past Noobified into the next round and show that, I wasn't going to be just the flash in the pan. Round 3 was the toughest round in this tournament for me. No offense to any of the other guys that I competed against, or, it just so happened that the toughest round for me happened to be in round 3, where I felt it was just the best matchup. And I knew King Greco was going to bring a commentary that was just going to be fire. I mean, we actually exchanged messages. I think it was the day of the voting. We exchanged messages and told each other that, we're going to battle like this was the championship round. And in battle, we did. He went first, and I remember watching his video and being like, damn, that's good. And then he cracked the backboard and then shattered it, and I was completely in awe at that performance he put on. And then my video rolled in after, and I am Megatron. That video almost killed my computer to make. From producing nearly all the sound effects myself to putting all the visual aids in to enhance the Megatron-ness of it. It was the most frustrating and rewarding video I've had to make to date. And this round did have a lot of scrutiny to it because this was the round that Golden Sports pulled out. And the video, the Megatron idea I had when I was doing the AP idea, the Adrian Peterson idea and the Megatron idea were kind of around the same time of origin in my head. And I was trying to save the Megatron video for an eventual Golden Sports matchup. You know, that was what I had predicted, you know, because, you know, you got to believe in yourself to go far. So obviously I'm planning ahead because I believed in my talents. I believed that I had what it takes to get far. And I saw Golden Sports getting there, but Golden Sports pulled out. And so, I mean, then I was like, all right, well, let's use this Megatron joint right now because I think King Greco is just going to bring a great video. So I pulled the card, I played the card, and man, I'm happy I played that card. I would have absolutely hated to be a judge in that round for that video. Because, I mean, I don't know who I would pick. I mean, I loved my Megatron video, but I also loved King Greco's video. It was just a great, solid commentary. So, I mean, that must have been a tough one to judge, but I ended up, I mean, it was a lot closer than it came. I think it ended up being a 5-0 sweep, but it was a lot closer than that. Don't be fooled. Then on to round 4. Round 4 came against Shake and Bake, who I've recently just become a big fan of on YouTube. He makes really great videos, and his fans are just vicious. They are absolutely vicious. And I think Shake may have had an upper hand in that one because he was coming off a video that was very criticized. And I was coming off the video, I was coming off the Megatron video that took practically all of my creative brain juice. But I wanted to make a video for that round that I could just have fun with. Something that, wouldn't frustrate me on the level that Megatron did. So, I mean, Tebow. Freshly shaven Jesus and the epic dance moves of I Bust Ass, too. They were called upon. I mean, it was a chance for me to show some depth. That I can not only do exciting play-by-plays, but also I could just have fun with a game commentary. Shake and Bake in that round, he brought a great, exciting video. And by the way, his fans went off on me. I was like, oh man, whoops. Maybe I had made a mistake by going with Tebow. But it worked out for me. It worked out for me in the end as I was able to get the votes of the core 4 and move on to the final 4. And in the final 4, I mean, I was honestly thinking I was going to meet Blackjack. I mean, this was the Blackjack Invitational, right? But, I mean, Jay Rain put out an awesome video to beat Blackjack, which pitted me up against someone who could really make viewers laugh. Jay Rain's hysterical. So, I mean, he's going to get that funny factor. And so instead of trying to go comedy again and out-funny him, I wanted to do something I felt passionate about. I'm from Massachusetts. I grew up a fan of the teams here, and one of my favorite players in the NBA is Paul Pierce. The truth. I knew at some point in the competition I wanted to switch things up a bit, and I didn't want to switch it up in the finals if I made it, so I figured that this would have to be the round I had to do it. In this battle, I went with 2K, and it was just close. And when I say it was close, I mean like brand new Gillette razor after you taken a shower close. I think the vote was within 10 people, 10 votes, as the core 4 began their voting process. And when it ended, I was up by like 20 votes. To the very last minute, I was texting my college buds, my Navy buds, my friends. I ended up winning by a hair, as the 4 judges had a split decision even. So thankfully, I ended up moving on after that frustrating round. I mean, and it wasn't frustrating because of the video I did. I love playing 2K. I play 2K all the time, and I love basketball. I love the Celtics, and it was fun to make that way. But my editing software, Final Cut Pro, I mean, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but like, I was on Twitter just, Twitter ranting because my shit was frozen the final day. On Friday, it was due Friday night. Friday morning, I got on there to edit. Final Cut Pro was locked for me. It like wouldn't open, and I finally got it to open at like 10:30 p.m. here at night, and I ended up doing the commentary because I had saved my commentary to the last day. So I did that commentary with like barely any time left to the deadline. And I know IKC mentioned like the voices. I could have done Doc better, and I know how Doc speaks, but I mean I just didn't have the time, and I felt so I felt like it was a good enough video to win. I felt like it was a really good video, but I knew I could have done so much better with it, and that's what just killed me. when I submitted it is because, yeah, it was good, but it could have been so much better. But it was good enough. It was good enough to get me to the championship. That's right. We're going to the chip. We're going to the ship. I made it to the finals. And yeah, I mean, I had this Monday Night Football idea in my head. At the same time, I was thinking of the Tebow video, and I ended up going to 2K in the Final Four. So I'm like, we're doing it. We're going back. We're doing Monday Night Football. We're going to do it right. I'm a huge fan of the NFL, and I love the way that Monday Night Football has become this spectacular event. Something that mixes sports and commentary perfectly, which is exactly what this sports commentary March Madness is all about. Sports and commentating. So the history of Monday Night Football is really neat to me, and the personalities that have broadcasted on it are iconic guys that have paved the way for a lot of actual sports commentators today. So to me, it seemed like the logical choice for the finale. A sports commentator March Madness video featuring the show that put sports commentary on the map. So my video went up with all the pageantry that comes with Monday Night Football, and then I was facing Gento, and what a great honor to face Gento. I mean, it's another truly commentated commentator, or a truly talented commentator out there, and it was so fitting for me as a 16 seed to open this tournament up against a great number 1 seed in Shakedown, and then close this tournament out against the number 1 seed in Gento. I mean, win or lose, that's a story. So I mean, the time leading up to the final decision, it was kind of nerve-wracking because, here I am. I've come all this way, and I dropped what I thought was a great video. I mean, it was something that I really enjoyed producing and watching, but I was hearing reviews about it that were kind of questionable. People were shaking on it, and I was just like, wow. I mean, maybe I just missed. Maybe I missed with this one. I mean, it's tough to be in a tournament like this where week after week, 6 weeks, 6 rounds of just ultimate video, you have to come up with a great idea, top yourself, top others, over and over again. It gets to the point where you're just like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss on one of these. One of these is gonna be like, I'm gonna think it's great, and it's just gonna be terrible. But come Monday, the judges split it 3-1. The fans voted for me, and I ended up taking this thing home. It was such a great feeling to come into this tournament, barely get in, almost miss out, and then get in there, have everybody receive my first video great, battle all these amazing commentators. My road to this thing was not easy. I was up against some great talent, and to win this whole thing was just unbelievable. It's all happened so fast that I joined YouTube in January, and here I am in April as the sports commentator March Madness champion out of 300 and something odd entries. That's insane. It's happened so fast that I don't think it's even set in yet. I mean, it's been a week now, and I did have to take a little bit of time to myself. I mean, after that much editing and that much time in the lab, it's just like I needed to take a second and dial it back. So, I mean, I only put out like one video last week, and things are starting to get back to normal now, and I did want to put this video out last week, but I just couldn't get to it. And it was just, I want to share with you guys a little insight on my journey and my experience with the sports CMM. And I mean, to touch on a couple of the topics here, I do want to give a little quick shout out to Jared, Saint of Sins, Moral Virus. He was the one, American Nightmare 76. He did all the graphics, and he was doing a lot of behind the scenes work. Thanks to like Havoc and him and Sin with Vengeance. Those guys, they hosted those live streams at the end of the days to recap, basically recap everything that went on during that day in sports CMM. And it was enlightening for a lot of guys. They grew through what the live stream said. They would listen, hear what Blackjack said, hear what Small said, hear what all these guys were talking about, and it would help. It would help them. It would help me. I listened. I think it helped me tremendously to be able to hear the feedback and hear what people were saying, so that I knew where to go. Where to go in the tournament from there. And also, I want to say I really hope that the Core 4 goes ahead and they put this on next year. I really, really hope they do. I mean, who knows, and who's to say where we are all going to be 1 year from now? It's almost impossible to judge unless, you have a regimented schedule. But 1 year from now, I hope they go back and do this again. The first year, yeah, I mean, this year was rocky. It had its points in this tournament that it was, they were scratching their heads and people were giving it a lot of criticism. But the first time anything happens, any kind of organized event, it's always a little chaotic. And it's exactly the word to describe this at times. It got a little bit chaotic, a little out of control, with some people not submitting, some of the layouts, the matchups, and how they were, good early, and then they kind of teetered out towards the end. But those are things that can be smoothed out the second time around. You guys have learned. You guys know what to change. Everybody knows the format now and what to expect, really. And I think that if there was another year, you could expect even better entries. Because I feel more than anything, this tournament has pushed commentators to become better than they originally were. So what is another tournament going to do? I feel another tournament is going to push people even further. Say you reach out and you grab a couple more guys that maybe has some bigger names, some of this, or maybe shrink the tournament from 64 to 32 original entrants. That keeps it a little bit more condensed. You don't get that spread thin 6 rounds of videos for a winner or the runner up is a lot of videos. It's a lot of but I mean I guess that's the grind. But my advice would be to shrink it down to 32. Make the draft selection that Blackjack had originally came up with, where the core 4 pick their teams, and therefore you don't get guys that are going to surprise you with just terrible performances. But that's my spiel. I mean, I want to thank everybody, thank the core 4, thank the subscribers, thank everybody that was involved, and I really met a ton of great people that I hope to work with in the future here on YouTube. I'm excited that this tournament has brought out such a high level of video in me, and I can confirm that I am going to keep making the best possible videos until Sports Commentator March Madness 2014 kicks off. And I would love to get back in there and start battling again. I had a week off. I'm already ready to start battling again. Let's go. But no, for real, I'm out of here. Thanks for listening, guys. And see you around on YouTube, see you on Twitter, see you on the channel. Bruce Ree, Cinderella, out.